Welcome to Emergence.
In this video, I want to show you how to invoke the Emergence Web Automation API from Python code. We have a simple example in this GitHub repository. Links will be in the description. Before you can start using it, you will have to obtain an API key by going to dashboard.emergence.ai. You can also see more detailed documentation about the API endpoints on docs.emergence.ai. We have two API endpoints, one to create a workflow. This returns a workflow ID, and another one to look up the status of an already issued workflow. So we will clone this repository and walk through the code in it. After cloning the repository, you will have to create a .env file where you put in the API key that you got from the Emergence dashboard. The key must be emergence_API_key. Coming to the code, we will see two simple methods. One to create a workflow given a user prompt. As you can see, the API is a simple REST HTTP endpoint, and we populate the prompt and the API key in the headers, and then simply use the requests library in Python to invoke that endpoint. We have a second Python function to get the status of an existing workflow given the workflow ID. Once again, we simply use the requests library to call the status lookup API endpoint. If the workflow finishes successfully, this will return the result of the workflow. And here we see in the main function a simple example prompt. We create the workflow and then we loop until the workflow succeeds and then print out the result. This is how we run the example. You see that it prints out a workflow ID after we have created the workflow, and it loops until we succeed. And when it finishes, you will see that we print out a lot of detail about the plan that the web automation agent came up with to accomplish the given task. And the plan has a few steps. The result will contain detail about all the steps and their outputs. And finally, we print out the result, the synthesized answer for the query that we had asked. As you can see, this is a pretty simple and straightforward API. We can't wait to see what you build with it. Thank you.